Alright, so this is something, even though I've been lifting for years, this is something that I often forget, and lot of people tend to forget throughout the journey, or some just don't know about it. The minimal effective volume. I think I've spoke about this before. However, the minimal effective volume is the amount of volume or work that need to be done to stimulate a muscle to grow. And the thing is that I tend to forget is that you cannot truly force muscle to grow any quicker than it wants to grow. You can't force muscle to grow faster than that natural time that it takes, the process it takes to grow after it has been stimulated. You cannot force that process to go more faster. That's why some people end up doing a lot of sets thinking that they could force more growth. So with this thought process, it has made me realize that it is highly not necessary to do all of that volume in one session. I tend to go down this rabbit hole of wanting to do a lot of sets. I did times of my training. During times of my training, I did a lot of volume. I did low volume, and sometimes I find that the higher volume works, sometimes I find that the lower volume works. People think that when they get into a plateau, and a lot of times I'm guilty of this, that whenever I go into a plateau, I tend to want to add volume, intensity to try to break the plateau. Maybe the plateau is from something else not necessarily related to training. Let's say you've stimulated the muscle. Let's say you only need 3 sets to stimulate the muscle. You did that 3 set, you tell the muscle to grow. What else is needed? Well, protein, your calories, and your sleep. These are the components of good recovery. This is what's gonna give good recovery. And once, if your protein is not in check, your sleep is not in check, you can get plateaus from that. Another thing that causes plateau are weak links. Not working on your weak links, not strengthening your weakness. For example, some people may start up on the bench press due to weak triceps. Some people may have a sticking point, mid-range, low range, and these things truly, it's not necessarily the volume that is going to break. If you have a problem with training, volume is not the major thing. This is from my own little experience. Volume is not, and it's a realization for me, that volume is not the thing that's going to break your plateau. It's actually addressing your weaknesses. Once you stimulated the muscle with sufficient amount of volume, done that part, and you've plateaued, and you have all your other points in check, your protein, your sleep, your recovery in check, what may be needed is you to strengthen those weaknesses. Strengthen the weaknesses. Yeah, so you cannot force muscle to grow. Don't try to force it, just do enough to get the muscle to grow, stimulate to grow, recover, and you will see your gains.